There are places on Earth that need no introduction, no spotlight. Just existing is enough to make the whole world bow its head and look. The Himalayas are one of those places. Not noisy, not ostentatious, but containing mysteries, wonders beyond the imagination of modern people. Let's embark on a journey where rocks, snow, and silence tell stories that only those who truly listen can understand. In the heart of the harsh Himalayas, where every trace of life seems to be eroded by wind and rocks, Cokha Lake appears as an unsolved mystery. The surface of the water is so still that people think it has turned to stone. But in fact, it is a stillness that surpasses all limits of perception. Every morning, the lake reflects 3 different colors: deep blue, sparkling silver, and a pale orange-yellow, as if poured from the sun that exists for just a moment before disappearing, like a dream just awakened. The strange salt rings that surround the lake create a wave shape, as if some force from within is silently pushing outwards. Even more strange is that the salt pillars grow overnight and then disappear completely the next morning, leaving no trace behind. Cokha is not noisy. It whispers. It contradicts every physical law we know. And perhaps that is the reason why anyone who has ever stood in front of this lake has the feeling that there are things that should only be listened to with the heart, not explained with reason. Leaving Cokha in a state of astonishment that has not yet subsided, Namtso Lake appears, as if the sky has melted onto the ground. In the middle of the windless Tibetan plateau, the immense lake stretches to the horizon, where snow-capped mountains embrace the lake like ancient gods guarding the soul of the Himalayas. There are afternoons when the water changes from deep blue to brilliant turquoise, then blurs like a smoky mirror, so beautiful that it makes people forget to breathe. On the isolated rocky islands in the middle of the lake, strange geometric carvings are carved by unknown people, like messages sent from a forgotten civilization. The sound of small waves crashing against the rocks echoes in a strange ringing sound, making many people believe that this lake can speak, can keep secrets. There have been groups of people who disappeared in the middle of the lake when the weather was completely calm, without a trace. But for those who remain, Namtso is not scary. It is sacred, like an invisible door leading to a place that people can only reach with faith and peace of mind. The journey takes us to a place where there are no waves, but it stirs up vibrations deeper than any ocean. The Thiksey Monastery, perched precariously in the arid mountains of India. Like a stone honeycomb stacked on a steep cliff, the monastery exists at an altitude of more than 4,000 meters, where there are no trees, only wind, clouds, and snow. Every winter, snow covers the roof, turning this place into a silent fortress against the deep blue sky. Surreally beautiful. Inside, dim light penetrates through small windows, illuminating scriptures written in gold ink and precious stone dust, preserved in sturdy wooden boxes for centuries. There is no hustle and bustle. There is only the deep chanting of scriptures like whispers from previous lives. Ki is not only a place of practice, but also a place where time bows its head. Every step up the stone steps here is a step into the depths of the soul, where people face themselves and realize that sometimes silence is the most resounding sound in the universe. From the sacred silence of Thiksey Monastery, the journey goes deeper into the arid Tibetan desert, where winds blow day and night across the silver-gray mountainsides. There, the ruins of the Guge kingdom appear like an ancient, forgotten dream. Broken stone walls cling to rugged cliffs. Dark corridors lead to hundreds of rooms, once palaces, temples, and perhaps untold secrets. There are no traces of war. There is no evidence of natural disasters. The kingdom disappeared, as if it had never existed. On the remaining walls, the frescoes still show their brilliant colors, defying time and climate. There are ancient statues with unnaturally twisted necks and waists, not broken, not shaken. Rooms that make sounds so loud that people run away in panic. And yet, amidst the deadly drought, moss still grows in the crevices of the rocks, like the last whisper of life in what was once the imperial capital. Guge is more than just a ruined city. It is a question that no one dares to answer. Continuing to follow the traces of civilizations that have sunk into the dust, we set foot on Nubra Valley, a geographical wonder that makes all familiar concepts about valleys have to be rewritten. Located in the middle of the cold desert of Ladakh, Nubra is where the golden sand dunes curve close to the foot of the glacier, where the wind blows through the rocks and snow as if whispering something that no one fully understands. The surface here has two layers. The fine sand on top is soft as velvet, while below is a layer of rock and soil that retains heat as firmly as the memory of Mother Earth. The rivers bend their flow into thorny folds, far from the usual gentle meanders, creating a rare ecosystem in the heart of the Himalayas. There are moments when the sunlight reflects on the sand, creating a soft, silvery glow, like a dream poured down from heaven. Nubra is a place where nature does not need to choose one entity, but harmonizes everything, as if ice and desert have found a common voice in eternal silence. Leaving behind the cold and contrasting beauty of Nubra Valley, we follow the rugged rocky slopes to Nar, a small village perched precariously in the middle of the northern Nepalese plateau, where winter seems to never end. At a height where the air is suffocatingly thin, stone houses without cement or deep foundations still stand firm through generations, just like the people here, quiet, resilient. Nar does not operate on a clock. People rely on the direction of the wind and the speed of snow melting to know when to sow. Their shadows are sometimes delayed by a few seconds when reflected on the cliffs, a phenomenon that has never been explained. On gloomy mornings, black earth circles appear and disappear after only a few days, leaving the feeling that time here flows according to a different rule. Nar does not have the majestic appearance of the mountain peaks, but it makes people silent, because the quiet vitality has turned a place that seems impossible to exist into an eternal home for people attached to rocks, snow, and silence. Leaving Nar in the cold wind and snow-covered trails, we head to Langza, a village located on a limestone plateau at an altitude of more than 4,000 meters, where millions of years ago was the bottom of the sea. The space here seems to freeze, so quiet that every step echoes in the mind. On the dry ground, people find fossilized shells, snail shells that are almost perfectly preserved, vivid evidence of ancient memories buried under the geological layer. But Langza is not just a fossil museum. It is a place where nature leaves question marks. The stones have small holes spaced evenly apart as if someone had drilled them with technology that never existed. The land stretches for dozens of meters without grass, even though there are lush terraced fields next to it. In the silence of the wind and the rocks, Langza seems to hold an untold story. About time, about the sea that has turned into mountains, and about the small people who persist in living amidst mysteries that have never been solved. From Langza, where time has turned to stone, the path along the broken mountain slopes leads us to Lamayuru, an ancient monastery located in the middle of a dry valley that people call by the surreal name, Moon on Earth. Lamayuru Monastery seems to hang on fragile stone pillars, precariously in a broken space, where every wind carries the echoes of legend. Under the ground eroded for centuries, The monastery's foundation seems impossible to survive. Yet for more than 500 years, Lamayuru has stood firm, as a miraculous affirmation of the power of faith and stillness. An archaeological survey once discovered a layer of clay under the monastery that was baked at high temperatures, although there has never been a trace of fire or volcanoes here. Every year, for only 2 days, the sunset shines through the cracks in the rocks and shines directly on the main altar, as if an invisible pair of eyes were watching this place from the other side of the universe. Lamayuru needs no explanation. It is a symbol of a silence that defies the laws of nature. Passing through silvery gray cliffs and sandy valleys, the journey takes us to Rumtek, a sacred monastery nestled in the pine forests and mists that hover around the peaks of Sikkim. In contrast to the precarious appearance of Lamayuru, Rumtek appears like a fairy tale palace hidden in the clouds, with its gilded copper roof tiles shimmering in the light as if the sun were resting on top of the tiles. Rebuilt in the 20th century based on ancient memories and drawings, Rumtek is not only a symbol of rebirth, but also a place to preserve more than 1,000 ancient scriptures, each page pressed in the naturally cold, dry air as if time were frozen. Amidst the quiet space, the chanting of scriptures blends with the wind blowing through the pine forests, creating a sacred, dreamlike sound. White clouds drift slowly through the corridor, as if carrying prayers beyond the visible world. Rumtek is not high in the sky, but here the human mind can reach dimensions that the feet can never reach. Leaving Rumtek dreamily in the white clouds and pine resin, the journey continues to take us to Thiksey, a monastery standing tall like an ancient fortress stretching across the arid mountainside of Ladakh. From afar, Thiksey looks like an ancient city stacked on top of each other in a strange order, where each stone step and each window faces the deep blue sky and the cold snow-capped peaks. Inside, the nearly 1.5-meter-high Maitreya Buddha statue, hand-carved over many years, is the soul of the entire structure, not only because of its solemnity, but also because of its gentle gaze, as if listening to every breath of the mountains and forests. Every morning, the long trumpet sounds and deep chants echo throughout the valley, slowing down the atmosphere. In the early morning light, Thiksey is not just a monastery, but an aura connecting humans and the sacred, courage and renunciation, mountain winds and hearts in need of calming. Have you ever wondered why, amidst the arid mountains and the cold wind, ancient monasteries still exist for centuries, as if supported by something greater than stone and time? If you are also passionate about the unsolved mysteries of the Himalayas, don't forget to subscribe to our channel to discover more wonders hidden in this majestic sky and earth. Leaving the sacred sun-drenched pagodas of Thiksey, our footsteps lead us to a completely different world, wild, deep, and mysterious. The Yarlung Tsangpo Canyon, known as the Hidden Grand Canyon of Asia. Deep in the Tibetan Plateau, this is one of the deepest canyons in the world, where the mighty river seems to disappear between the rocks and the clouds. At times, the flow suddenly changes direction or stops completely, and from the ground, a deep sound, like the breathing of the earth itself, echoes. Centuries ago, expeditions claimed to see traces of stone steps like giant stairs, but all were buried by landslides just a few years later. No map can fully measure this place. Yarlung Tsangpo is not a canyon to be measured by data. It is a gate, open between heaven and earth, where man can only bow his head and listen to things beyond his ability to understand. Away from the luxurious splendor of Nar Village, Ukulas Island brings a strangely close and genuine feeling. This place is not only famous for its clean beaches and crystal-clear blue sea, but also for the spirit of sustainable living and environmental responsibility that the people always uphold. Ukulas is one of the few islands in the Maldives with a complete waste recycling system, a rare thing in small islands in the middle of the ocean. It is this kindness of the community that makes visitors feel welcomed home. The small island is only about 1.5 miles long, but it is vibrant and warm. The white sand roads wind through coconut trees and colorful houses, creating a scene straight out of a tropical dream. The harbor of Ukulas is not only a place to anchor boats, but also a poetic scene that attracts many eyes and lenses. In Ukulas, every breeze, every wave, whispers an invitation to slow down and fully immerse yourself in nature. If Ukulas has a vibrant and green spirit, Fuladhu Island is a gentle whisper of nature for souls in need of absolute tranquility. Located far from crowded tourist routes, this island of about 216 acres seems completely isolated from the outside world. Few people know that Fuladhu was once home to one of the oldest communities in the Maldives, leaving behind stories, customs, and culture that are still preserved today. In Fuladhu, time seems to slow down. Long stretches of white sand hug the blue sea, so clear that you can see the bottom even when standing in the middle of the waves. The average year-round temperature is around 85 degrees Fahrenheit, ideal for those who want to sunbathe, watch the sunset, or simply listen to the whispering wind and waves. Fuladhu is not for noisy fun. It is for hearts that need to heal, need to be embraced by the pure, pristine nature of Mother Nature. Leaving the bustling life of Rastu, Vashafaru Island opens a completely different chapter, gentle, delicate, and imbued with traditional identity. Nestled in the middle of the blue ocean, this small island is not only known for its charming natural beauty, but also for the skillful hands and artisanal souls of its residents. The craft of making jewelry from coral, an ancient tradition, is still maintained as a living heritage, reflecting the sophistication and love for the sea of Praus, the indigenous people. Although only about 46 acres wide, Vashafaru has a fairly high population density, creating a close-knit and cohesive community. Small houses close together, coastal paths lined with coconut trees, all evoke a sense of familiarity, like stepping into a warm memory. More surprisingly, the ecosystem around the island can contain up to 100 different species of coral, a precious biological treasure that is being preserved by the people themselves. Vashafaru is not noisy, not sophisticated, but it is the rusticity and enduring cultural spirit that has made this place a sacred corner in the heart of Maldives. In contrast to the classic and cozy features of Fuli-du, Digara Island has a liberal and enchanting beauty of youth and freedom. Nearly 2.5 miles long with an endless stretch of fine white sand, Digara is like a soft silk strip across the emerald green waters of the Indian Ocean. This place attracts not only by its pristine natural beauty, but also by its unique experiences, especially the opportunity to swim with whale sharks, the gentle giants of the ocean. It is a moment that is both thrilling and magical, making visitors' hearts beat faster like the waves crashing on the shore. Beneath the peaceful exterior is a community of nearly 1,000 friendly and enthusiastic people who used to live by fishing and still maintain their traditional sea culture. The atmosphere here is always bustling with local festivals where music and laughter echo like the wind blowing through the green coconut trees. Digara is not just a place to watch, but a place to live, to feel the ocean with all your senses, and to carve unforgettable memories in your heart. And then, among the myriad of peaceful islands, Malé City, the capital of Maldives, appears as a vibrant and vibrant heartbeat of the entire island nation. At just 2.2 square miles, Malé is one of the smallest capitals in the world, yet it has an incredibly high population density of nearly 200,000 people. Despite its compact size, Malé is not out of sync. On the contrary, it is a bustling heart, a bustling soul in the middle of the vast ocean. Stepping into Malé is stepping into a world that is the opposite of the peaceful resort islands. Bustling streets, fresh fish markets, towering mosque minarets, all blend together to create a unique urban picture that is still imbued with identity. A must-see stop is the Old Friday Mosque, an ancient church built of coral stone, a living testament to the historical and spiritual depth of this place. Malé is not just the beginning or end of a journey, but also the place that preserves the strong, resilient, and courageous spirit of the Maldivian people. In parallel with the hustle and bustle of Malé, Mafushi Island offers a gentle silence where natural beauty combines with the rustic features of everyday life to create a very different, very authentic Maldives. Unlike luxury resorts, Mafushi is one of the few islands that allows visitors to stay at budget guest houses, opening the door to explore the daily lives of local people. Only about 33 acres wide, but Mafushi is always bustling with laughter, the sound of waves, and the sound of boats docking after a long day at sea. This is an ideal destination for those who love diving, as the waters around the island belong to the world's largest coral reef system, home to more than 2,000 species of fish and hundreds of colorful corals. Not only that, Mafushi also keeps a private beach for local people, as a way to quietly preserve its identity amidst the waves of tourism. Coming to Mafushi is coming to a familiar, simple beauty, where your heart is touched by the sincerity and warmth of the original Maldives. While Maradhu preserves the beauty of traditional life linked to the sea, Hanamadhu Island opens a new chapter, where the past and the future intersect with a peaceful pace of life and modern transformation. Located in the northern Maldives, this island stands out with a rare advantage, a runway of more than 7,500 feet, making Hanamadhu an important connection point between the island nation and the world. But more than just a transportation role, Hanamadhu is also part of the historic spice route, once an important transit point in the Indian Ocean trade routes of the last century. Today, it retains its breathtaking serenity, with its deep blue sea, diverse coral reefs, and tropical jungles. It is a wonderful blend of wilderness and development, where you can explore the unique marine ecosystem during the day, then gaze up at the stars at night. Hanamadhu is a gateway to the future, while remaining firmly rooted in the Maldives' history and natural beauty. If Dharavandhu feels magical in the dark of night, Guge Island welcomes you with its radiant simplicity under the sun. One of the smallest islands in the Maldives, with an area of only 0.44 square miles, Guge surprises with its pure and captivating natural beauty. The fine white sand here contains a high amount of silica, which keeps the sand cool underfoot even when the sun is high, making every step along the shore feel light and surprisingly pleasant. But Guge is more than just a resort paradise. It was once a pearl trading center in the 19th century, leaving a unique cultural mark and contributing to the creation of a rich coastal community. Today, visitors come to Guge not only to dive in the vibrant coral reefs or enjoy the temperate climate of 77 degrees Fahrenheit to 90 degrees Fahrenheit year-round, but also to feel the rare peace among the crowded islands. Not far from Hanamadhu, Dharavandhu Island is a heartwarming gem in its own way, a sparkling gem in the Maldives. Although only about 37 acres in size, Dharavandhu is home to a vibrant community of around 1,200 residents, creating a warm and vibrant atmosphere. But what really makes this island special is the phenomenon of bioluminescence, a magical display of nature, where phytoplankton emit a faint blue light every night. The sight, as you walk on the sand and each step makes the sea shimmer like a starry sky, is an unforgettable experience, full of poetry and a magical feeling of being in another world. Not only is Dharavandhu visually beautiful, it is also steeped in a long maritime history thanks to its strategic location on ancient trade routes. In addition, the island's domestic airport makes it an accessible destination for those who want to explore the Maldives in an authentic and emotional way. Dharavandhu is where natural beauty touches the heart in the most gentle and subtle way. Alongside the modern resort beauty of Kurudu, Hithadhu Island brings us back to a Maldives full of depth, where history, life, and nature blend together in a vast and rich space. The second largest island in the island nation, Hithadhu spans approximately 2.2 square miles and is home to over 26,000 people, creating a vibrant island metropolis that remains closely connected to its surroundings. During World War II, Hithadhu was a strategic British military base, a historical vestige that is still deeply imprinted in the collective memory and architecture scattered across the island. Today, this place is an attractive destination not only because of its rich history, but also because of its special marine ecosystem, with rare fish and coral reefs that are only found in this area. The temperature ranges from 80 degrees Fahrenheit to 90 degrees Fahrenheit all year round, making it easy for visitors to enjoy sea exploration activities and stroll among the cool coconut forests. Hithadhu is a place where you can not only hear the sound of waves, but also hear the echoes of the past and the vibrant beats of the present. Not only stopping at the sweet taste and ancient history of Thadu, Diangethi Island continues to lead us to a colorful world where culture, religion, and nature intersect in a unique and vibrant rhythm of life. As one of the islands with the most multicultural community in the Maldives, Diangethi stands out for its blend of many different languages, religions, and customs, creating a local identity that is both rich and tolerant. Only about 0.6 square miles wide, Diangethi is home to about 1,000 people, with a high population density but not stuffy. On the contrary, the closeness of the residents makes this place feel like being in a warm family in the middle of the ocean. The island's special feature is its traditional handicrafts, hats, scarves, and intricate weaving, reflecting the skillful hands and artistic spirit of the people. Not only that, the coral ecosystem around the island also acts as a natural wave break, protecting the community from the erosion of the sea. The Anathi is where we find connection between people and nature with pride and respect. How do you feel about Maldives? Is it a dream paradise or a gentle symphony in the blue sea? If your heart is moved like mine by that wonderful beauty, don't forget to subscribe to continue the journey of discovering hidden islands and untold stories. Mbudhu Island, also known affectionately as Coconut Island, is one of the most unique and charming islands in the Maldives. Covered by millions of coconut trees, accounting for 95% of the island's vegetation, this place appears like a vivid picture in the middle of the vast ocean. Every breeze carries the gentle scent of coconut, making people feel like they are embraced by the wild and peaceful nature. Not only is this island beautiful, it also contains an extremely diverse marine ecosystem with colorful coral reefs and rich marine life. Located in the coral reef area, Mbudhu offers an ideal experience for those who love to explore the underwater world. With an area of about 50 acres, the island is developing strongly in the field of high-end resort tourism. But what makes Ubuntu special is the harmonious balance between natural beauty and sustainable vision. A true paradise for souls yearning for peace in the blue ocean. Following the wild beauty of Ubuntu Island, just a short distance away, Olhu Valley Resort appears like a sparkling gem in the heart of the Indian Ocean. Built in 1993, this is one of the pioneering tourism projects in the Maldives, contributing to paving the way for the resort industry in the island paradise. With an area of up to 56 acres and a beach of more than 3.5 miles, Olhu Valley brings a feeling of openness and relaxation, as if lost in a separate world, completely separate from the hustle and bustle of everyday life. The first impression when setting foot here is the open, green space and the perfect combination of modern amenities and pristine nature. The resort has 164 villas, of which about 18% are over-water villas, where you can wake up to the sound of waves and the sunrise shining through the clear water. The highlight that cannot be missed is the infinity pool facing the sea, where the boundary between sky and water seems to disappear. Olhu Valley is not just a resort, but a place where your heart can find true peace and tranquility. In contrast to the tranquil tranquility of Fulidhu, Rastu Island is filled with the vibrant life of the sea and the spirit of endless adventure. As one of the most densely populated islands in the Maldives, Rastu is not only a place to live, but also a historical center associated with fishing and trade in the Indian Ocean for centuries. Traditional boats are still anchored at the harbor, as witnesses to a rich and sustainable past. What makes Rastu stand out is its rich marine ecosystem, where you can dive to see manta rays, sharks, and vibrant coral reefs stretching under the deep blue water. In particular, the island belongs to the Ari Atoll area, world famous for its diving experience with tiger sharks, one of the most thrilling and magical moments for those who love the ocean. In addition, Rastu also possesses a rare source of natural freshwater, a precious gift in the heart of the blue sea. Coming here, you will not only explore the deep sea, but also discover the depth of courage and passion for adventure within yourself. From the sophisticated traditional features of Vashafaru, Fulidhu Island takes us to a poetic space, where music, the ocean, and people blend into a unique rhythm. With a population of only about 400 people, this small island has a rare intimacy. Every face is a smile. Every step across the white sand road is a warm greeting. Fulidhu is not large, only about half a mile long, but it exudes a bustling vitality, like a heart pounding in the middle of a quiet ocean. What makes Fulidhu special is not only its pristine landscape, but also its cultural soul preserved through the Bodu Baru Festival, a centuries-old traditional music and dance festival. As the drums beat on the shore, the community and visitors immerse themselves in the local rhythms, as if time has stopped to make room for human connection. Fulihu is more than just a destination. It is a living experience, where every wave becomes an invitation to listen to the deep and sincere harmony of the Maldives. Along with the charming wildness of Digura, Thadu Island is a flavorful surprise, where nature and people come together to create a unique harmony between the sea and agriculture. Thadu is famous throughout the Maldives for its juicy, sweet watermelons that can weigh up to 15 pounds. A product that is not only the pride of the people, but also a sweet gift for visitors from afar. Although only about 1.2 miles wide, the island has a harmonious combination of fertile fields and peaceful white sand beaches. Every step around Thadu is a step into ancient memories. When you encounter Islamic relics and Arab traces from the 12th century, silently telling the story of ancient trade across the Indian Ocean. The community of nearly 1,200 people here lives in harmony and closeness, creating a bustling and profound picture of the island village. Thadu is not just a destination, but a place where you can feel the sweetness of the land, the saltiness of the sea, and the fullness of the simplest things in life. If Mafushi brings the intimacy of a daily Maldives, Maradhu Island is a unique blend of culture, history, and modern life. Located in the south of the Adu archipelago, Maradhu is one of the most densely populated islands and the most diverse community in the Maldives, with about 1,500 people living there. This place is not only a tourist destination, but also a place to preserve the persistent working spirit of the people through many generations attached to fishing and agriculture. The special feature of Maradhu is the rich coastal ecological space, where coral reefs blend with turquoise water to create a peaceful and enchanting scene. Under the gentle sunlight, each wave gently laps on the white sand, reflecting the look of the houses looming behind the rustling coconut trees. The year-round temperature is a steady 80 degrees Fahrenheit, making it an ideal destination for those who want to immerse themselves in nature without straying from the deep indigenous culture. Maradhu is a corner of the Maldives that is deeply rooted in its identity, but still full of new life. Guge is a place where you can feel healed just by taking a deep breath. Continuing the journey north, Kuredu Island appears as a perfect resort paradise, where nature and top-notch amenities meet in an inspiring space. With a length of about 1.3 miles and a width of 0.5 miles, Kuredu is one of the largest islands in the Maldives, enough for you to feel privacy while enjoying all the amenities of a modern resort. What's special is that Kuredu used to be an isolated prison, but today, this place has transformed into a dream destination with more than 50 luxury villas, welcoming thousands of visitors from all over the world every day. Under the clear water, the rich marine ecosystem with hundreds of species of fish and rare marine creatures creates a magical world for those who love diving and exploring. The year-round mild temperatures, ranging from 79 degrees Fahrenheit to 88 degrees Fahrenheit, make Kuradu the perfect place for a well-rounded vacation. This is not just a place to relax. It is a place to rejuvenate, to listen to the call of the ocean and of yourself.